Yes. Okay, so I tried to regroup the question bank, and this is the one that I have prepared for. Okay, I think I just leave it the way it was. Sorry. So forget about this number. I'm going to renumber them. So I try to look at the topics that needs to be covered in the syllabus vis-a-vis the topics that you should have known in the past. So this right angle triangle elevation and depression seems to be something that you should have known in the past. And so we would not be, devoting classes on that. Okay? But it doesn't mean we won't review it. I'll tell you how we will review it. Distance in three-dimensional shapes. We will review that somehow. Area of triangle also. Volume and surface area. Pay close attention to this especially. Sine and cosine rule, especially sine rule because of the cases of ambiguity. We will review that. Bearing as well, we'll review that. So what I did was to create, in fact, I was busy with this all the weekend. That's why I couldn't respond to Mr. Chang's emails, messages. The dude liked to talk to me over weekend. I don't know why. Hey, dude. He likes to remember me during the weekend. Then he sends me a message at 1 a.m. I don't know what he's doing at that time. Anyways, so this is something, for example, the 3D trigonometry. So it's just a 2-page worksheet, which I'll be giving you. Okay. Then area of triangle. Wait, can you see the stuff, the worksheet that I was opening? Okay, no. So this is the area of triangle worksheet, for example. Just to review and look at the application. Some of them I took from your book. Some of them I took from maybe some sources. I think most of these are from your book. So we do not have to waste time on that. Sorry about that. Then sine and cosine rule especially, we need to pay close attention to that. Where's sine and cosine rule? Okay, not this one. Okay, here is sine and cosine rule. I have 8 pages of worksheets made for that, 19 questions altogether. So some of them are normal questions, some of them ambiguous cases, some of them are IB exam style questions, which will require your knowledge of sine and cosine rule. I believe you have done sine and cosine rule in the past, but just in case somebody forgot something, this worksheet will serve as a reminder. Okay? Okay, sine rule and cosine rule, not sine and cosine rules. Now, then bearing problems. So bearing problems, I'll show you that. So for bearing problem, I just have a booklet of 4 pages. So, the way I print to class, I'm going to print this. So after that, I worked on surface areas and volume problems. Maybe I open all this, then I show you one after the other. Okay. Surface area. Where is surface area? Okay, so this is volume. So for this, the idea is for you to be able to review question on prism, pyramids, and spheres. Okay, so like for example, this is like an exam paper. I think it's a past exam paper. Most of them are from your book, but this is a past exam paper, for example. I think this is also a past exam paper. I'm not so sure anymore. I just took them from different area. So that's volume and capacity. Of course, they are 2 different things. Scalar quantity and vector quantity stuff. Then this is about sector. I know we have done sector, but I'm just going to give this this is a past exam paper, for example. So I'm just going to give this. I think this is also a past exam paper. So I think this is also exam past paper. So when I give this, The intention is for you to practice them and be able to recall some key concepts. And if you do not know those concepts, you are welcome to ask questions. This is on surface area. That's also a booklet of 4 pages, just one paper that I usually fold. So it's not really a big deal, just to review the concept. Because now, this is why this is very, very important. When we get to differentiation and we are, maybe discussing some applications of maximum, minimum, and it has to do with shapes, you do not want to look lost when we start writing, maybe the surface area of this solid, for example. You really, really want to know how the surface area is found and whatnot. Okay? What else am I missing there? So rather than doing this, rather than wasting time to do all this, because I have a feeling that this week might be the main last week of the term and of the year. Remember, by Friday, your exam starts. Yeah? Do you know that? The exam begins on Friday. An exam ends next week, Friday, which is 19, if I'm not mistaken. Just a sec. Yes, exam begins on the 12th and ends on the 19th, and school closes on the 25th. So what does that tell us? So when exam ends on Friday 19, well, maybe we have class on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know. If there are no activities, the end of year stuff, I don't know if we are going to teach you till 24th. So we might just be having a week approximately, even if there is a day in the week beginning of 22nd. That is the week after the exam. And I believe the school might want us to review the exam question at some point. So what I thought we'd do instead of reviewing some of this Form 3, Form 4 IGCSE stuff is to go straight into trig identities. So as of yesterday, I've started compiling worksheet on trig identities from your book and from other external sources, from past paper and stuff like that. Actually, I have trig identity in 2 places. So this will be the last part, not the first part. Trig identity 1. Okay. So this is 1. Oh, come on. Why do I have read only? Have I opened it before? Yes, I have. Okay, here is it. So the first one happens to be like a 4-page stuff. I'm still adding more questions. So if you were sending me messages over the weekend and I'm not able to respond, sorry, I was busy with this. And even part of this question, these are past papers, linking it with complex numbers. Very sweet topic. It's not that broad when I look at it, but it's very interesting. So I thought we'd begin with this today, because these are relatively new to most of us, rather than something you could still have an idea of. Do you understand my point? Like the bearing, the sine rule, the cosine rule, you can still, work your ways around it. Even worst case scenario, we are not able to do it. So what I'm going to do is that by the last week of school, okay, once I confirm when the last week of school will be, I will be giving you these worksheets, these ones. From here, this was the last one I gave you. From here to here. I'll give you this as maybe summer practice or whatever. Do you get my point? It's not holiday homework. Don't see it as, oh, you're going to submit when you come back. Okay? It's for you to practice and try to relearn whatever you have forgotten. And I'm going to be in Macau during summer. So I will be free more than now. I think by 6th, I should defend my thesis. I think I booked 6th of July to defend my thesis. So the last, maybe the last a week after that, maybe I will print and do whatever. So I believe by July, I'm done with university stuff. So I will have time, more time. That's what I'm trying to say, to reply more messages. If anybody wants to get busy with reviewing this concept over summer, please get in touch. The idea is when we come back for Form 6, I want us to focus on calculus, which is topic 4, but there's nothing here, and statistics and probability. Okay, and of course, part of trig requires vector. So I want us to see as much as we can do now. Just have maybe a month to look at the rest if we are able to work faster with extra classes on Saturday, which must be taken seriously when we come back. Then we can now focus on calculus. Calculus actually should be something you would do for a whole year. Unfortunately, we probably have a term, and everything has to be done by March. Actually, I would recommend February if we can work faster. We need to complete everything by February, or worst case scenario, March, so that April will be past question revision, then you can write your exams in May. That's the whole idea. So to achieve this, I'm not going to recommend that we waste time reviewing this. This should be you. When I notice some things are difficult to do, I can make Zoom videos, upload it on the channel, like some of the sine rule ambiguous cases, upload on the channel, you watch, you do it yourself. Do you get my point? The surface area and volume, if there are some difficult questions, send it to the group. When I notice that is a common problem, I make a video and upload it on our playlist. Then you can watch it and complete your task. At the end of the day, if we need to come back to look at anything here, it should just be maybe a class revision of everything, not dedicating a whole week. Do you get my point, guys? So I will need your cooperation in this regard so we don't have to waste time and we can just move on to things that are relatively new. Am I making sense? Okay, so having said that, if you have your, I believe you don't have your textbook at home. Your textbook should be, you'll be in school. So I'm going to be using my own textbook. Okay, so I'll share that with you now.